Today we took a trip to Tbilisi Zoo. I love a good zoo. Whether Tbilisi Zoo is a good zoo or not is much debated online. They got all your typical animals, so little monkeys playing. What a cute baby. Porcupine. I don't know if I've ever seen a giant porcupine before. They're very lazy. Pretty hard to see. I see a zebra. This turtle's sharing with this otter. I didn't notice at the time, but there were actually many turtles sharing the enclosure with the otter. We came back a little later, and the turtles were all up on those rocks sunning themselves. And there was a lot. That I have never seen before. A white peacock. Very pretty. More little baby monkeys playing. Not sure what kind they are. And unfortunately, the zoo does not have very many things labeled. Too fuzzy to see. Didn't work. Back there's a bunch of guinea pigs, right behind the monkeys. And here's an energetic family of meerkats. They seem to have way too much energy. I don't remember the name of this specific cat, but it's a pretty typical cat. Not a whole lot bigger than a house cat either. I wouldn't know the difference if I ran into one in the woods. Yep, typical kitty. Laying in the sun. Ringtail lemurs are great. They're one of my favorite animals. I didn't know that you were allowed to feed them though. Apparently, these people have been to the zoo many times before. They brought along apple shavings and peelings and stuff to feed him. The lemurs really seem to appreciate it. Not even for the sake of content am I getting on this squeaky Ferris wheel. I really almost missed the rhino. I was busy watching the donkeys. It's easy to see why they say they blend into the forest. He completely disappears in this landscape almost. That's a lot of goats. Why so many? I have no idea what this is. I'm going to have to look this one up when I get home. It's got a face kind of like a raccoon, but it's got a white nose. It's much bigger than a raccoon. It's got kind of a different leopard print on its body. And a tail, much like a fox. There were lots of pretty birds. I don't know any of these species. And again, unfortunately, nothing was labeled. I think everybody knows that this is a hippo. But this particular hippo got to be pretty famous back in 2015. In 2015, there was a flood that hit Tbilisi and Tbilisi Zoo and released many of the animals. And these are some signs just telling you about the escaped hippo's adventures and how they got it back to the zoo. More on that a little while later. A pretty camel, darker than a lot of camels I've seen. More donkeys. These donkeys have a friend though. They have a llama friend. I think it's a llama. Maybe an alpaca. I don't know the difference between the two. And they have deer. They actually have almost a whole herd of deer, I would say. Yep, more. No zoo would be complete without some elephants. I'm pretty sure these are Asian elephants. They look smaller. For the most part, most of the cages were not too bad at the zoo. I really feel like the elephants could probably use some more room, especially when you can compare them to the enclosures that the deer have. But that's just my opinion. They do have an elephant house next to it, and on the other side of that, it looks like a shared water area that the elephant and the hippo can roam between. Oh, hey, more sheep. I don't know what kind these are. I forgot to look at the sign. This is an adorable little monkey. Look at that face, sticking his tongue out. I'm pretty sure that these are also meerkats. This is a bigger enclosure. They seem to have a lot of burrows, quite a large area for them. I'm guessing that the others are juvenile and separated maybe for that reason, but I'm not positive. I might have to double check. They seem to be grayer also than the other ones were. So maybe they're an entirely different kind. Got a couple of wombats and what looks to be one kangaroo in the background there. Way in the back of the pen where it was really hard to see, you can just kind of make her out. That is a white female lion. Pretty sure that I could see the male inside one of the doors there, but we couldn't get a picture of him. It was too far away. Pretty large enclosure for a lion. Hey, horses. And I'm not sure if those are bison or oxen. I don't think they're water buffalo, but they could possibly be water buffalo. You are just a pretty chicken looking thing. I believe these guys are probably pelicans. I'm not positive. They're larger than any pelican I've ever seen. And that, yep, I don't know if you caught that. That is the smartest rat in the world. Tbilisi Zoo has a tiger. It's beautiful. Tbilisi Zoo used to have several tigers. Unfortunately, during the flood in 2015, they were one of the many animals that perished in the tragedy. He has a pretty nice enclosure though. Nice and green. Pretty good amount of area to crawl around. He looks content. It's amazing how such a big cat can disappear so fast into the trees. I followed him down, looked in the other window, but couldn't find him. Oh, there he is, back there. Would have you been able to spot him if you were out walking in the woods? Leopards are another animal that blends in tremendously. That was just a quick trip around Tbilisi Zoo. They actually have a whole aquatic animals and reptile house that I'm going to put in a separate video. We didn't know the day that we went to the zoo about the flooding, but it was actually quite tragic. The zoo lost over 300 animals to the flood, including all of its tigers, and that included what looks to be at least a couple of cubs. It lost all of its lions, and its bears, and its wolves, and its hyenas, along with many other animals. There's talk about them building a new zoo. In fact, the land looks like it's already all planned out for it. There's even some pictures online of what looks to be possibly some new enclosures that have been started on. But the program seems to have stalled due to no funding. So who knows when these guys will ever get a new home. Hopefully they get it built before the next horrific flood happens. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Bye.